The Mamba mentality has left a mark. Shout out to the NBA legend, Kobe, and your daughter, Gigi. From Tom Brady to Drew Bledsoe. Rain, sleet, or snow, I grind. I am clutch. I am the difference maker. I am the game changer.
Hello, and welcome back to the Game Changer Show here at the Right Way Sports Network. I am your host, Cody, and my beautiful co-host, Alex Sagini, bringing the fire shirt again this week, back to back. You love to see it, man. How you doing?
Stop. It can't stop. I'm planning every single show to have a new fire shirt. This time, this one's a little bit more laid back. Still got the chest out, naturally. I've been working out a little bit this summer,
nice.
Getting a little bit of a chest. So, I had to show it off today.
I love it. And we always got to bring that, little summertime fun, but this is one of the best times of the year for sports. We have NBA playoffs. We have the Stanley Cup finals. This year we got the Olympics. We have Olympic trials drama that is going on. We got all sorts of stuff to talk about, Alex. I'm super excited for it. So, let's just jump right into it, right? Because we got an NBA game tonight that I'm really excited for in the Suns Clippers. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. I talked a lot of shit about Paul George, and I was wrong.
Yeah, Paul George has been the victim of the biggest victim of – sorry, my cat wanted to say hey. Paul George has been the biggest victim of me talking, mess. I've crapped on Paul George every chance I've gotten. I've called him the pandemic P. I've called him everything. But, yeah, he shut me up. He has shut me up 100%. I can't say much. I'm not going to say I've completely changed my mind and did a complete 180, but my opinion on Paul George has 100% changed from where it was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing with Paul George, and he had 41 points, 13 boards last game in their win. The criticism was deserved originally, right? Because and my least favorite thing about Paul George is I'm a Pacer for life. Once out of the Pacers, goes to OKC. Thunder for life. Me and Russ, we're gonna bring a ship home. Immediately shipped out to LA. So a little beef, and I'm a Pacers fan. So yeah, I got a little bit of beef. But that being said, his playoff performances prior to this year have not been what I would call incredibly stunning or spectacular to watch. This playoff has been completely and totally different, right? Not only has he had a phenomenal not single-handedly, because the Clippers are a pretty solid team, but he's the star of that team right now with Kawhi out. And I saw these statistics today, and I'm going to read these off because if you would have asked me like, hey, where is Paul George at in any of these categories for the playoffs, I would have gotten every single one of them wrong. Right now, he is first in minutes and points in the NBA playoffs. He is second in field goals, free throws, and three-pointers. Right? Like that is scoring at an incredible rate.
Yeah, Paul George, he's been lights out. If you watch it, it's like you're not watching the Paul George that we've all come to know. Like you said, it was definitely warranted, the disrespect that I and everyone else gave him. I was calling Paul George the biggest choke job in the entire NBA. But, yeah, I can't say that anymore. I can't say it until he proves otherwise. He's been great.
Yeah, and so it takes me to a clip I saw of Charles Barkley talking about, like, look, until you start winning games, people will talk. Like, they're going to talk about you because the NBA is about winning. Right? Like it is a star-driven league and the stars need to show up in order to get these wins. And Chuck knows better than anybody because he retired as a Hall of Fame basketball player, one of the greatest to ever do it, and never won a championship, right? So he knows better than anybody. That's the biggest, when you talk about like, hey, if you talk about Charles Barkley, it's that he could never win the big one. And that's always been what it's about. So he knows better than anybody that, look, until you win a ring, like people are going to smear your name a little bit. And that comes with the territory, right? Until you perform. Paul George is performing. Now, we'll see if they can win game 6 tonight. It's at home in LA. So I personally have bet on the Suns money line. I think the Suns get it done in 6, but we'll see, man. Paul George has been electric. He's been incredible. The rest of that Clippers roster has really elevated themselves. And they've been playing good defense. And Ty Lue, I slandered Ty Lue, not last year, but I was like, look, the only reason that he was successful was because of LeBron James. No, he is a good coach. He's a good coach.
I was saying that he wasn't even the coach on that team. He was getting a check to do nothing. And I was saying that LeBron was the head coach. He was everything. And Ty Lue just kind of sat there and, collected a check and some fame. But, yeah, that's also completely wrong, as we've seen in his coaching career since. Yeah, he's doing a great job.
Oh, yeah, he's been incredible. And I would have really been shocked if you would have told me this year that Ty Lue was going to take the Clippers farther than Doc Rivers was going to take the 76ers. It's kind of interesting how the chips fall. But right. So who do you have winning tonight? What do you got?
Yeah, I got the Suns. I think, and even if the Suns do win, I'm not going back to my Paul George bashing. Even if he has a bad game, I mean, guys deserve to have off games every now and then. He has not been the Paul George that we normally see. He's been a good playoff performer.
Yeah, and I think it kind of goes with a lot of the KD slander that happened. Look, KD, obviously, it's Nets fans and KD fans alike are sad that they got bounced earlier than what everybody anticipated in these playoffs. But to say that he couldn't lead a team and do it by himself, that is just flat out incorrect.
Right.
I think Paul George, you kind of got to throw him in that category. He is not – now, he cannot shoulder the load in the same way that KD can, but he can still lead a team. He's been incredible. So let's go to the other series because this sucks. I hate injuries are the worst part of sports, and it always has been, always will be. Doesn't matter what sport we're talking about, injuries stink. And Trae Young missed game 4, and the Hawks won by 22, which I did not think I would be saying that in the same sentence. But here we are. And third quarter of last night's game, I think it was right around a double-digit game. Giannis had made 5 of the Bucks' last 6 buckets. The offense was running through him coming out of the half. Hyperextended his knee a little bit. No, so Waj already tweeted, right? No significant injury, no structural damage to the knee or anything. Doubtful for game 5. How do we feel about the Eastern Conference Finals, knowing that we're missing the 2 biggest stars?
Yeah, this is tough because it's looking rough for the East. I mean, both these West teams are looking better than ever. And now you have an East who look like they're going to be – whichever team wins is going to be limping into the finals. With that being said, I don't know who gets hurt worse by their star being out. I want to say it's probably the Bucks, and I think Trae Young has been great. And I'm notorious for being low on Giannis compared to a lot of people. But when you watch that team without Giannis on it, it just is not the same. Giannis is the guy who can get a bucket whenever they need. Trae Young, without a doubt, is the same way for the Atlanta Hawks. But I just feel like the style that the teams play, it bodes better for a team missing their star when they play the style that Atlanta plays.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. There's not many people that can dominate an offense in any way, shape, or form the way Giannis dominates an offense, right? He absolutely controls the floor. He controls the pace. Trae Young is an incredible offensive facilitator, right? He's a great offensive facilitator, don't get me wrong. But Giannis's impact on both ends of the floor, I think, really changes how that Bucks team operates. So if they were to both, right, it's a 2-2 series. If Trae Young and Giannis were to miss the rest of the series, I think the Hawks take it. I think that they have a better rest of the roster. I also think they have a better coach. I think Nate McMillan is a substantially better coach than Mike Budenholzer, but we will see. I mean, there's a lot going on still, right? Like there's still some guys who really like Middleton is a great perimeter threat. Like Kevin Huerter has been incredibly hot. Lou Will had himself a nice game, which Draymond called that. You love to see. Draymond talks his shit, man. He's really good at it.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna have an incredible career one day in the. I think he like in the Charles Barkley type role, NBA TNT type stuff. But
no doubt.
yeah, it's been great. I think I'm still going to stick by my Suns Bucks playoff prediction. I think my finals prediction. I think that's still going to be where I land. But I thought both of these series are a little more even than what I thought they would be.
I agree. I thought both of them were going to be a lot more lopsided. I thought it was going to be Suns Bucks, but I thought Suns and Bucks were both going to handle the other team pretty well. I agree. I think the Bucks end up pulling it out. But that's because I think Giannis ends up being able to come back and will his team to victory.
Let's hope that whichever team makes it through to the finals is healthy, because God, that would be a disappointing finals if you're missing your stars. So I'm going to transition to hockey real quick. Alex, I know the old Mississippian doesn't have a whole lot of hockey talk, but game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals has come and gone. The Lightning are very, 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 very good at hockey. Goalie play is something that this series is going to come down to. And quite frankly, it's been the Canadians. Carey Price has essentially shouldered that team through the last couple of rounds. The under hit in every single game in their series against the Knights, which is incredible. And it's just a testament to the way they play hockey. They play incredible defense. I don't know if they can keep up scoring with Kucherov and the Lightning, and they've just been so good. So my prediction is the Lightning take it. I mean, it's already a 1-0 series. I think a lot of the hockey Twitter heads that I follow have predicted the Lightning in 5 or 6. So we'll see if that stands true. But love me some playoff hockey. Alex, you got any thoughts on it at all?
I'm gonna say the Canadians are gonna win it, only because I know in Canada they love hockey. That's their thing, and they're named the Canadians. Come on, man. The Tampa Bay. They're not playing hockey in Tampa Bay like they are.
Oh, they won the Stanley Cup last year.
Well, look, like I said, I don't know these things. I just know it's hot in Tampa. In Canada, they could play for real, like outside on a lake or something.
Fair enough. Game 2's tonight at 8:00. We'll see whose prediction is right, Alex. I'll shoot you a text, let you know how it went. But let's transition to the MLB. We are in the heat of the MLB season. All-star races are starting to heat up. I'm seeing some Reds slander on the timeline that I really don't appreciate, because my Reds are just, quite frankly, they're disrespected. I think that they could absolutely sustain 2 outfielders in the All-Star game. But over the last 2-3 weeks, we have seen some incredible performances by Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Schwarber, hitting absolute bombs. Schwarber has hit 15 home runs in his last 17 games. An unbelievable pace. The last person to do that, Barry Bonds. He was pretty good at hitting a baseball. He might have had some help with, a little bit of juice. But, man, Schwarber and Ohtani have been putting on a show. Do you think it's because of the pitchers aren't able to use the sticky stuff anymore? Like, what are we thinking?
I think that's got a lot to do with a lot. I think baseball is going to completely change with the crackdown on the pitchers. Because I think it was almost an unwritten rule that most pitchers use a little something to
I agree.
Help themselves out. So now that it's constantly being checked, I think we're going to see a lot more bombs and a lot more hits from a lot more players. Also, I'm not the biggest baseball head. I kind of follow it. I played it a lot. With that being said, Shohei Ohtani is one of my favorite players in baseball. He's something that literally we've never seen before. And people say that all the time. We've never seen this before. Shohei Ohtani is an actual never seen before. For him to be able to pitch like that and then come out there and hit absolutely bombs, like it's ridiculous, and I love to watch him.
there is like there are Japanese broadcasts where they have an Ohtani cam where they just keep the camera on him literally all game because he is that exciting.
I need to figure out how to watch those broadcasts. He's the best player on the field. I just want to watch Ohtani 24/7.
Oh, it's unbelievable. And I think I don't know what his odds are for AL MVP at the moment. I will look because they have to be. He's a lock for it. Unless he gets hurt for some reason, he's got to be a lock for the MVP. I think he has a 2.54 ERA. He has 27 home runs. Like he leads the lead in dingers. Like that is unbelievable. He's a pitcher. That's
insane. Never seen before.
It's awesome to watch. I mean, nobody alive is watching that kind of baseball, and it has been like, yeah, I've seen somebody do. No,
exactly.
Look, if you watch Babe Ruth, like, great.
Yeah,
Ohtani is just unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. So, MLB is exciting. But we also have some Olympic stuff going on. A couple notes from Olympic trials so far. First off, there was a gentleman who kind of blew up Twitter for a little bit with just a glorious mustache and mullet combo. Unfortunately, he did not qualify from the old US of A, but that thing was glorious. But we also had a thrower from the United States who her comments and the displaying of a shirt that said activist athlete on it while she was on the podium. I believe she got third place, but did well enough to qualify. She had some comments about the flag and about, racial tensions in the United States. By all means, use your platform. That is part of what the spirit of the Olympics is, right? You get to represent your country and everything about it. And if you have the opportunity to, say whatever you want to say and represent something. I think some of her comments might have gone a little too far just because it's almost like if I were to, badmouth my boss and like he's the guy paying my bills, you know what I mean? It's probably not a good idea. I'm never going to badmouth Malik, at least not behind his back. You know what I mean? So it's controversial for sure, but as an American, like one thing we plan our pillar on is the freedom of speech. So if you have something to say, by all means say it. People will be like, oh, shut up and dribble. Okay, pal, go back to 1945.
You're right.
But I think.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. You got a story to tell.
But interesting story. I've actually met Gwen Berry. She worked at Dick's in Oxford, Mississippi, and I was going through there. Me and some of my buddies was spring break. And I mean, she's like swole. So like like you notice her. So one of my buddies talking to her like, oh, so you work out? And she was like, yeah, like I'm a thrower. Like, I don't know if she was an Olympian then or trying to be an Olympian. I don't completely know, but yeah, this was a few years back. She was very nice. She showed us some pictures of her and Kevin Durant, which is crazy. She knows Kevin Durant. She's cool with KD, which is odd. But the way I feel about it, going up to the podium with her shirt that said activist athlete or athlete activist, completely okay. Even if she would have held it up, did whatever she did, even what she did on the podium, it was odd, but I'm cool with it. If you're going to turn around, like she made a lot of weird facial expressions. It's weird. What really had a problem with me, and Gwen, we met each other. You probably don't remember this, but I've got to say a few things. What bothered me is the fact that she acted like it was planned to wait until she got on the podium to then play the national anthem. Like, come on, Gwen, you were third place in hammer throwing. That's not the point for the U.S. to make a statement or to try to get some publicity. I didn't know hammer throwing was really a sport, and you were third place. Like, they're not playing that at that time, trying to capitalize on you. That's not what they were doing at all. Now, the anthem was not supposed to be played right then. It was delayed, and it ended up playing after. So I could see where she was like, oh, it's unfortunate. But the fact that she was trying to throw digs at, I don't know, whoever ran the Olympic trials, I don't know who runs that thing. I guess the good old US of A, trying to throw digs as if they were trying to set her up is just ridiculous to me. She's taking herself way too seriously if she thinks that they're that worried about it.
Yeah, I don't think it was targeted by any means. I don't think it was targeted. Unfortunate circumstance for sure, especially as she's out there trying to give the message that she wants, the world to receive. I hope that she succeeds in the Olympics. I absolutely hope that she succeeds in the Olympics. I think she will. So shout out to Gwen. But it was absolutely a newsworthy story. It's just something that it'll be something that'll be talked about as we lead up to the Olympics, but it's good to see a lot of the track stars get some love because what they do day in and day out. And I know they got some love earlier when DK Metcalf ran the 100-meter dash and he came in last or ninth in his heat as one of the, I would still argue, one of the best athletes on the planet. These guys are that good. Very, very, very excited for the Olympics. But we've had a lot of people been talking this week, and first off, if you enjoy talking and internet, and I know I've mentioned some things on Twitter and stuff like that, follow TWSN on Twitter and Instagram. Our team has done an awesome job, and we have a ton of seeing some of the behind the scenes stuff. We have some awesome graphics queued up for the Olympics that are going to be really, really cool. So make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at TWSN. And follow the YouTube page because our coverage is going to be incredible. But speaking of people who have been talking and have been all over the internet, Scottie Pippin is going absolutely scorched earth. And I want to give credit to the Dan Patrick Show who kind of brought this up. Scottie has gone on and to say that the reason that Phil Jackson chose Tony Kukoc to shoot the last shot back in that final series is because he's racist. And while I don't know Phil Jackson and I'm not going to, say anything on his behalf, it seems kind of odd to continually attack people from a Scottie Pippen standpoint. And I don't know if it's because his book is coming out in November. I'm not, it's to me, it's very coincidental that he is going on this media tyrant, right? Or tirade. And it just so happens to coincide with his book release in November. What do I'll leave it alone. It is what it is. But
I didn't even know he had a book coming out. But now that you say that, I'm not going to tiptoe it around it as much as you are. That's completely what this is about. Scottie Pippen hasn't been talking all this mess before. Now that I know he has a book coming out, now he's deciding to make waves through all the media. Come on now, Scottie. That's just obvious. And yeah, he's saying all types of ridiculous stuff. And I see some people I get let's not harp on the guy too much. No one should be canceled or hated on or got too much hate. But also, Scottie, get a grip. You were never that guy. Now Scottie Pippen, great player. But I feel like with Scottie Pippen, always, every time I've seen him, he kind of, to me, feels like he thinks he's a little better than he actually was.
Yeah, and thoughts out to Scottie Pippen because I know he and his family went through an incredibly tough time a couple of months ago with the loss of their son. So
I didn't mean to say that. That is completely awful, and so that could have something to do with what's going on.
Yeah, so I don't. It's I don't know. Something seems off. I don't know if it's publicist telling him or if he's kind of lashing out because something that always bothered me is people comparing the second best player. Well, he's the Scottie Pippen to so-and-so's Michael Jordan. Scottie Pippen, in my mind, is a top 25, top 30 player of all time. I mean, he's an absolutely incredible player. The Bulls don't win all those titles without him. So to say oh, so-and-so's a Scottie Pippen, I feel like that's kind of used slanderously. And I don't know. I could see how he could be rubbed the wrong way. I just don't. In my mind, the going out of your way to slander or degrade other people on the internet is never the way to go. So we'll see. Hopefully he calms down or not necessarily calms down, but he kind of understands what he's doing here because he's been firing off shots and it's interesting to see, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's crazy, right? It's crazy.
He is starting to act a little crazy. It's like I said, I don't want to pile on. The guy's been getting a lot of crap lately, but then you tell me this thing with the book, and now I feel a little bad because of the stuff his families went through, and I just kind of, got on his case a little bit. I don't know what to say other than he needs to chill out. Like, come on now.
I mean, I don't want to make it like, by no means am I making excuses for the guy, but like at the same time, like he's going through stuff. Like, I don't know, man. Like there are better outlets than going to the media and, talking bad about others. I hate to see it.
Accusing someone of being a racist because he didn't take that shot. That's awful.
Well, and you've seen other guys come out and be like, no, absolutely. Like Robert Horry has come and absolutely said, like, look, that no way, like, love Phil Jackson to death. He's been like a really good friend to him and his family. So I don't know. We'll see. So I'm going to transition to something real quick because the College World Series is going on right now. The College World Series has been great. So there has been some controversy in the last week. NC State was eliminated from the College World Series, right, from the tournament because of COVID protocols, viral, whatever they're. I'm not sure what the College World Series standards and protocols were, so I don't know what infraction they had specifically.
Yeah, guys had tested positive on the team, but they were removed. They let them play one game after the guys had removed. They had like 13 whole players on their team. Mm-hmm. They had to beat Vanderbilt once. Vanderbilt had to beat them twice. They lost that first game, but they were supposed to have another one. But something happened. All of a sudden, the NCAA decided to backtrack and say, okay, you know what? Y'all can't play y'all's last game. It's over. So that was very controversial with everyone. They're like, well, you let them play the game before or after guys were positive. Why don't you let them play it now? Let them have a fighting chance. But, the things I can see how the NCAA at the end of the day is worried about what the media what it's going to look like, what it's going to look like to the news. Are we going to look like we're helping spread COVID? And that's why they did that.
And if they're going to do that, how are you going to go and brag about the attendance the same day or like that next evening? Like you're bragging like we had one of the largest attendances in the history of the College World Series, but also we just kicked a team out for violating protocols. But we care about COVID. Sure you do, pal. No, you. My thoughts on the NCAA are well documented on my old Twitter if you follow me at Smash It Sports. But man, come on, that's terrible. But the game's going on right now. On ESPN2, Mississippi State is up 3-0 in the bottom of the second. Mississippi State has an opportunity in this College World Series to do something that I find actually kind of hilarious. They are one of 3 or 4, I can't remember off the top of my head, but they're one of 3 or 4 Power 5 teams to never win a national championship. So in anything, not baseball, not football, not basketball,
not top sports. I'm talking about golf.
Nothing.
Yeah, at all. And if they win this game, it is storming outside my place right now. But I might go hop in my car and take a drive to Starkville because Starkville will be electric if they end up winning.
Look, they don't call it Stark Vegas for no reason. I have heard that Starkville is a good time, and I can't imagine what it would be like if they won a national championship in baseball this summer. It would be an absolute blast. So something that I'm going to keep an eye on as we continue the rest of the show. The score of that game, I got it pulled up to the side, for podcasting purposes, 100%. Definitely not because I'm really interested in watching the game, but it's good to see some baseball action. And it looks like your cat likes some baseball as well, Alex.
100%. She wants to say hey again.
Oh, what a gorgeous kitty. My dog would be going nuts if he was in the room right now. Absolutely bananas. Speaking of thing that is absolutely bananas, not talking about my shirt. We had a lady who stuck I don't know if it was a cardboard sign or like a plywood sign onto the road in the Tour de France. causing a massive, massive pileup. Now, granted, it very early in the Tour de France, everybody will recover that time. It's not, and I believe they stopped it if I wasn't mistaken. But, lady, what are we doing?
Do anything for clout. This lady saw the cameras. She was like, let me make I don't know. I don't know what the signs. Oh, the sign said something that loosely translate to something about family. I don't know. Regardless, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Lady, you're an idiot. Like, what were you possibly thinking? To stick out a sign out there. I saw something about how there was a camera shooting that was videoing. She wanted to get a little bit of camera time, but we have smartphones. Like, you could have taken the picture, taken a video, just had the guys whizzing by in the back. There could have been so many better ways to do that than causing a complete mishap, all because you wanted to stick a sign out in the road. That's just, I don't even know what to say about that.
So, the story gets crazier, right? So not only is she like been all over the place, she fled the country, right? Fled the country to like avoid being prosecuted. She is now, as of 6 hours ago, saw it after my lunch break, she is now back in custody, right? So apparently she is a French woman around the age, like mid-30s, which is just a wild, like, I don't know what she's doing. What do you do? Fleeing the country? Like, this is insane.
I wonder what the punishment is.
What is the charge for that? It can't, surely it has to be no more significant than like streaking at a soccer game or something.
Right,
like
exactly. And she's fleeing the country like she just killed somebody. Come on, lady.
Yeah.
And now someone, I guess she hurt a few people.
That is true. I'm sure there might be like lawsuits involved. Maybe that's the big like outcome of this, is that she gets sued.
Was probably also just hated in the country.
Oh, has to be.
So like maybe she was just getting away from the hate, not the law. Maybe she was fleeing from all the hate. Just trying to get over to somewhere where they didn't care about the Tour de France. Like me, I don't care who wins that thing. I just think it's funny that a lady was stupid enough to put a sign in the middle of the road.
There are like, the Tour de France is the biggest cycling event in the world, right? Like, this is, and I always find it funny because you see all the jokes about cyclers on the internet, how about they own the road, and like, you know, some people think cyclists are arrogant, which
this is the moment.
I live out in the backwoods, so I don't know what, you know, I don't have any problem with cyclists out here, but it's crazy to see something like this and the backlash that came of it. For her to flee the country, eventually get caught, absolutely wild. I've heard all the theories, man. I've heard that this was a stunt so that the Tour de France would get more publicity, like so that it would go viral, all these things. Who knows? But that is just absolutely wild. I wonder what is the football equivalent to that, right? Like, to cause a wreck like that. Like, I'm thinking like that is to like go up and like run through like an actual like live play. Like, it's one thing to like streak.
Yeah, you got to tackle somebody. You got to make a tackle.
Oh yeah, you got to block a field goal, something.
Yeah.
Like a fan that like jumps from the stands,
could you
swats
imagine?
Down a pass, still be better than the Titans defense
or
last
catches
year.
one. Catches real quick.
Yeah. Oh man, what a crazy turn of events. But so we have a shorter show this evening, right? Because the sports world is kind of turning down. We don't have any football news, man. Is there anything going on football wise?
Well, college football, it just got announced that I think it's this Thursday, they will, starting this Thursday, be able to make money off their likeness.
Yes, we need to talk about that.
If I was a college football player right now, starting Thursday, I could sell shirts that said, I don't know, Alex Sagini apparel on it or something. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think it's big and it's overdue.
Look, if it's a Hawaiian shirt, I will absolutely buy it.
Oh,
and I will buy some Alex Sagini
That might be in the works.
But the name, image, and likeness that is going into effect tomorrow, July 1st, is monumental for college athletes everywhere, right? Not just college football. I mean, college football, obviously, you have some of the biggest names in college sports. College basketball is going to be big as well. But it really provides an opportunity for a lot of men and women to profit off of their name, image, and likeness. And I see a lot of people that can be really upset by this. And they go, well, that their payment is their free education and that's what they get. And I understand that, right? But I can't walk into a Walmart and buy groceries with my free education. You know what I mean? Like I can't buy like sheets and a comforter. Like I can't put gas in my car with the free education that these scholarships give, right? So they are, and not all these kids are on scholarships. That's the thing too. Like, yeah, like there are plenty of kids who get lucky enough to get a full ride and work to get that full ride, but there are plenty of kids who don't have that opportunity.
In baseball, even the top guys are almost never full scholarships. In baseball, they normally offer half scholarships because they get such a small number to hand out that they have to divvy them up. So it's almost unheard of that it's one guy with a full ride scholarship. So this guy is already having to pay something to go to school and play baseball. And he's here. So yeah, this was overdue for a long time. The schools that people are saying they're giving them free education, these schools, I promise you, are making a lot more money than they're losing by giving these guys free education. This is what is making the school run. College football makes more money for the school, for a lot of schools, than the school itself does. People going to the school, like it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the fact that people act like, I don't know, like these athletes aren't owed anything is just stupid.
Yeah, the NCAA is $1 billion business. It's $1 billion with a B dollar business, and that like you can't. It's going to ruin the game. Like you're going to get no. First off, absolutely not. How is this going to ruin the game? What is this effect? Like, so the kid's going to do an auto commercial and like maybe be able to like actually drive a car that's not a 1997 Toyota Corolla. Like, give the kid a break. Like,
right.
What? Asking for these guys, like they need to live in poverty so I can be happy when I watch them hit each other on a football field. What?
Stupid.
And honestly, this is significantly bigger for, like, I understand that you're going to have a handful of athletes that make, a lot of money, right? Like there are going to be your Zion Williamson, Trevor Lawrences of the world who take their collective sport by storm, and they're going to be the guys that are signing the shoe deals and this, that, and the other. What this is a bigger deal for is it's a bigger deal for athletes who are not in these mainstream sports, your track and field, your swimming, your field hockey, lacrosse, things like that. It allows them to go out and make a little bit of money because they don't have a pro career to look forward to most times, right? Like they are going to go out into the real world after this. So it allows them to have and hold jobs. And you can't, like, it's very difficult to do that as a college athlete. The other thing it allows you to do is college athletes can then start their own business. And you weren't able to do that before. And a prime example of that I think is going to take the world by storm is social media, right? Like social media is becoming a growing business. And it is like, there is a business behind social media, right? Like people get paid.
Guys are going to be getting paid to be influencers based off their name that they get from this. And why not? It's their name. Like it always blew my mind. The NCAA could say you can't make money off your name. Like before this went through, if I played football and decided, I also want to I also want to be famous on Twitter, I couldn't make any money off of it. Even if I'm not talking about football. If I'm not speaking like, like, look, here's the video of me scoring a touchdown. Even if I'm just talking about anything else, before I was still profiting off my name. Why did the NCAA get to have domain over my name as well? That was always so ridiculous to me.
Agreed. So the biggest like instance that I can think of this, right? There is a young woman who is incredible on the internet. Her name is Haley Cruz. She plays softball for the University of Oregon, or played softball for the University of Oregon. I believe she is graduated now. She was absolutely incredible on TikTok when it first started. I believe she has 728,000 followers on TikTok. She has a couple 100,000 on Instagram and a couple 100,000 on Twitter. She was able to build this incredibly large following because she's very funny. She is very personable. She is very, very good at entertaining and being entertaining on the internet. Like, that is an absolute skill to have. And she was not able to make a dime off of that. And that's like, going pro in softball is something that you can do, but it doesn't pay like going pro in football or basketball or baseball, right? So, and if this would have been allowed the last 2.5, 3 years, she would have been able to make a substantial amount of money, or at least more than zero, off of that social media. And that would have been incredible for what that would have allowed her to do. So I love the name, image, and likeness. I'm all over it. Selfishly, bring me back NCAA football. For the love of God, I want to be able to create my dynasty again. Throw it back. I think I won like 9 straight national championships with Notre Dame on NCAA 14. Not to brag, pretty big deal. But yeah, bring me back some NCAA football. Did you play that at all?
Yeah, I loved NCAA football. I still play it sometimes, but got the PlayStation 3 out there to play it.
I was gonna say it's some old school stuff.
But yeah, I got a question for you. Who would have raked in like, what's one name that comes to mind that would have made a killing if this was there when they played? First, I got 2 names. First one that comes to my mind is Johnny Manziel.
That's who I was gonna say, bro. Isn't it Money Manziel, dude?
Money Man, like that was literally his thing. This guy right here would have been a multi-millionaire before he got out of college. Easy.
100%.
Another name that comes to mind is Tim Tebow. I remember everyone repping Tim Tebow. Doing the knee, especially down here in the South. Oh, my God.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Tim Tebow was the next coming of Jesus. Everyone loved Tim Tebow.
Yeah. Oh, man. Gator Nation, it was God, family, and Tim Tebow is what it was for a while. I mean, it's insane. Oh, man. Who would I – my first and immediate thought is maybe not like made the most money, but for the amount of time that he was like incredibly relevant and active and everything, Cardale Jones at Ohio State, 12 gauge.
Yeah,
that dude had a cannon of an arm, and he only came in really for those couple of playoff games. And that was right early in the college football playoff era. He came out and he dominated, I believe he won him a national title.
Took the world by storm.
Yeah, absolutely took the college football world by storm. He would have been incredible. He would have done all the deals, man. And that's something that, like, he ended up drafted into the NFL. I think he is out of the league now. I believe he was the quarterback for the DC Defenders in the XFL.
12 gauge played in the XFL.
Right? So it's guys like that who are, or like the Coastal Carolina boys this year. Gallagher, I think, was the linebacker's name. And their quarterback is very talented as well. They would have been able to make it. They sold like the Mullets of Myrtle Beach shirts that, guess what? They were not allowed to make a dime off of.
Exactly.
Somebody was selling those shirts, but they weren't allowed to make a penny off of it. And it's stuff like that where, like, you can either catch the world by storm, because there's always stories in college sports. Every year there's stories in college sports. The young woman who was a gymnast at UCLA. Oh my God, she went so. I'm gonna have to look this up because she absolutely deserves to have her name mentioned.
Manti Te'o would have raked it in. So fake girlfriend merch. I mean, look, this guy's girlfriend was on CNN and Fox, not even sports, just the regular news stations.
Yeah. The UCLA gymnast that I was thinking of, and I'm going to probably butcher her last name, so I apologize, but Caitlin Ohashi went so viral for her incredible floor routine. Like, that would have been awesome money for her to be able to bring in. And like, UCLA, probably not a cheap school, I would have to assume, right? Like University of California, Los Angeles. Yeah, she probably, like, having some extra dollars and being able to go out and do interviews and do those kinds of things would have been incredibly helpful. So I am pumped for name, image, and likeness. Quite frankly, I'm going to buy so many stupid T-shirts and memorabilia that I probably should not buy, and that's okay. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to buy some sort of Notre Dame stuff. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to love it. It's a shame that it's taken this long, but man, it's going to be fun.
Right. For my pockets, it's probably a good thing that it wasn't there when Joe Burrow came
Oh,
through. Oh
bro.
my God, I would have been bankrupt. So.
The amount of Burrow jerseys with the EAUX at the end that would have sold in the state of Louisiana. Every kid in the hospital would have been born in one of those.
Yeah.
Like you just get swaddled in your Burrow jersey at birth. Is how it would have gone. It's unbelievable. So it's long overdue. I am very, very glad it's here. Alex, I do not have anything left on my plate. I am stuffed full of sports goodness. Is there anything else that you want to talk about, discuss, anything that you want
Nothing else for me.
Look, it has been absolutely awesome talking to you guys here at the Game Changers Show. Do us a favor. An absolute huge help for us would be if you subscribed on YouTube, followed us on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me at Smash It Sports, but more importantly, follow TWSN. You get to see Alex's content, my content, Malik and Daniel's content, and all the content of the great, great writers and staff members we have at TWSN, the Right Way Sports Network. There's only one way to do it, and that's the right way. Download the mobile app, do all those things. And I gotta give a baseball update. What is the score? What am I doing? Oh my goodness. How am I going to end? I gave a promise. That I was going to update people on the score, and I didn't do it. And it's still 3-0. Well, that was disappointing. I made that big of a shebang about it, and the score hasn't changed. Gotta love some baseball, man. We have some great sports to watch tonight. We have some more sports to talk with you about next week. Alex, it's been fun. It's been
a great time.
Trying to find it, and here it is. Peace.
The marathon continues. The Mamba mentality has left a mark. Shout out to the NBA legend, Kobe, and your daughter, Gigi. From Tom Brady to Drew Bledsoe. Rain, sleet, or snow, I grind. I am clutch. I am the difference maker. I am the game changer.